The music. Okay, we're live on YouTube. Let's go.
This is the MMA Takes Podcast. With your host, Brian Petrie.
Woo! That's the MMA Takes Podcast theme song, baby. Welcome if you're joining us on YouTube. Welcome if you're joining us on your little earbuds with your Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever you want to indulge it. I'm gonna tweet out the link here. Dev, this is a live show, babe. I know you like to piss a lot. I don't know how much pissing you're gonna be doing here, pal. You got I got look at me. I'm jugged up, baby. No Mountain Dew. No Mountain Dew for me right now. Maybe a little later.
No Mountain Dew.
I don't got work tomorrow. Maybe a little later. Let's see. Okay.
Might be a late night.
There we go. Oh, it's gonna be a late night. My whole fucking schedule's thrown off.
What'd you binge on last night? Like who was the one fighter
Cannonier and Whittaker. And then because I had already watched all of Khabib's fights. Let me send this link out.
Man, I wish I could find something to set my computer up a little higher. Makes it easier for me to reach, but I guess I'll just have to fucking do with what I've got.
Do with what you got. All right. We're live, baby. Come join us. And I know you don't have Twitter, but I'm going to tag you in your.
I need to re-download it, man.
Yeah, you need to get Twitter. Love it. Come join us on the Fist Guy YouTube. Bam. All right. We're live, baby. We're live. We got one viewer. I don't know who's doing us. Let me pull up the chat just in case they're chatting us. Nope, not yet. Hopefully it's Timbo. Welcome to the MMA Takes Podcast. Woo! UFC 254. I am fucking jazzed up for this. I have painstakingly went over this card. Painstakingly. I got in my head a little bit. The easy picks, usually I just, that's an easy pick. I know who's going to win that. I started questioning myself a little bit. But then I went with my gut. I feel like I found a groove here. So what I want to talk about, Devin, off the top, you're not a math guy, okay? If the people at home listening just could read all the mean things you say to me via text, all the mean stuff you say to me during text. You're so mean. So here's some stats. And this is just math.
You sound like a victim.
I am a victim. I 100% a victim. Here's the stats. And these are just hardcore stats. I sat down for an hour today, did this math. This is the most math I've done since high school. I mean, I didn't do any math in college. All right, here we go. So we have done
so how are
9
we supposed
cards.
To trust your math? Hold on. So how are we supposed to trust this is factual and correct if you haven't done math?
Well, I mean, sure, my math may be wrong, but everything I'm saying has been recorded audio, so you could go back and listen to it. I'll send you my sheets that I get it from. So we've picked 9 cards. This will be the 10th card we picked this year, right? Mainly you and I do pay-per-views. And then we've done one where you and Tim were on a team, and then we did one with all 3 of us, right? With Timbo winning that one. That was the most recent one. So with our points, you have 37 points on the year. I have 45. Out of fights picked right, regardless of the point system, you have 58. I have 60. So I edged you by 2 on the fights picked right. And that's just tight. That's very tight. And that's just us. Like, again, I pick every card and you don't, and I don't know your stats in front of me. Anyway, our mortal locks, you have 4, I have 6. Those are tight as well, right? I didn't do underdog locks because mortal locks, that's a guaranteed bet. That's your best bet. The average betting odds for your mortal locks are always favorites because, I mean, that's what we do, is minus 550. Picking Valentina at 1,100 one time, your mortal lock really hurts your average. My average is 265.
And then picking Amanda Nunes when she fought Felicia Spencer.
Honestly, there's a Brazilian guy. I can't remember his name. We both picked him, but you made him as mortal lock. You made him your mortal lock. He was a minus 850. So that was heavy too. Did he win? He won. Yeah. I'm only counting the winners. I'm only averaging the winners, not the people you picked that didn't win. Same with me. So you're minus 550 for your average of mortal locks. I'm at minus 265. So that's the math. That's what I sat down with this big fucking brain of mine, and that's what I did. So it's going to be a battle. You and I both talked about this card. It is it's a dandy. It's not
So you picked 60 fights, correct? I've picked 58.
58. Yes.
What out of how many fights is that so we can get the average?
I didn't write how many fights we picked out of. I mean, we've done 9 cards. We've done 9 cards. There's 12 to 13 fights, sometimes 11, sometimes 14 every card. You add those up, and we can do it that way. I was just going through, and I write your name down, and I counted that, and my score is always at the bottom, so I just went through and did that. Double checked it, did it twice, so it's nice. See, I'm already rhyming. You're fucked. If I'm already rhyming this early, forget it, dude. All right, first fight of the night. Let's jump right into it. UFC 254. This is what we're here for. We have one viewer, and they're here for the fucking picks, baby. Joel Alvarez, -164 favorite. He's 17-2 from España. He is fighting Alexander Yakovlev. He is 25-10-1. He's a +134 underdog. I'm going first because I'm going first. This fight's actually kind of easy for me. I've never been a huge fan of Alexander Yakovlev. I remember he fought Gray Maynard forever, got 155, and I was like, this guy's not my cup of tea. He relies on wrestling. He relies on his strength. He's not the biggest 170 in the world. He used to fight at 155. Excuse me. Is this at 155? Maybe did he go back down? This is at 155. Okay. Wasn't the big 70 in the world. He's fought Kamaru Usman, so he went down to 55. Yo Average is getting, he's getting some nice prices here from Vegas with the favorite special here. At 17-2, he's got a decent record. I don't love his overall skill set. He surprised me in the Joe Duffy fight, but he is a finisher. His one loss in UFC is versus Damir Ismagulov, who is a fucking stud Russian. So you can't hold that against him too much. With that being said, I'm going chalk here. I mean, this is Alvarez's fight to lose. I think he could, if it goes to the ground, I think his submissions are a problem. He's tall, he's lanky. They're both fairly tall and lanky for this division. However, I'm going with Alvarez. Chalky pick, chalk. And I'm going Alvarez. What do you got, Dave? Have you taken the under here? I smell under for you.
What's the, I flirted with it.
Smell under, bud.
I just look at his record, like his loss to Roosevelt Roberts. Roosevelt Roberts is like a small 55er. He's probably the smallest 55er.
Tall. He's tall.
He's tall, but he's not like, I like Roosevelt Roberts, but he's not like a big, powerful, he doesn't rely on his strength for really anything. He's not one of those big, powerful dudes.
Me?
Yeah.
That's where you're going with, pal. By the way, I dusted off the old, this is the old MMA Take shirt, the old Shield. This thing's been with me this is my lucky shirt. So again, and you made Crystal. I mean, how are you gonna fucking lose? How are you gonna beat me, Dev?
How are you not gonna pick Jared Cannonier? Is the real question.
We'll see. He is a crystal guy. I've been watching the embeddeds. He loves his crystals. Go ahead.
Did you see him arguing with him arguing with the little Muslim girl over who the best fighter in the middleweight division is?
I don't think so. Was that on embedded or like an interview?
I sent it to you on video. It's like him. Okay. He met with his daughter. They're like in a cafeteria, and they got cameras on him. And this young girl, she's Muslim. She's wearing the deal. I don't know what it's called. Whatever.
I think it's called a serape, right? I don't know.
I really don't know.
Yeah,
I should be more well versed than that, but I don't. Anyway, the girl comes up to him and she's like, Anderson Silva is the best fighter, the best middleweight to ever exist. She tells him, Jared Cannonier, that on camera, and he like kind of picks an argument with her. He's like, no, I am, and I'm telling you that I am. So
I got a lot to say about Jared Cannonier when he goes up. Let's pick this fight because we're gonna this card's a little light on the ass until the end. Go ahead.
I'm going with Joel Alvarez as two. I flirted with Yakovlev, but I just don't love Yakovlev's record. I really don't. I think Alvarez. I'm looking at him right now, and what I'm looking at is he's a -160 favorite, so it's not a heavy favorite. It's a bettable fight at that line too.
You can buy it.
Like it's definitely a bettable line. I don't know. I'm not a huge bettor, and you know that I kind of more analyze the fight and pick them that way.
You're a picker. Nothing wrong with that.
Truthfully,
nothing wrong with that.
I do truly think that Joel Alvarez just has the tools to win the fight. And I don't like it's going to be early in the morning for me. I don't know if I'll be crawled out of bed by that time.
What?
For this one.
You West Coast people. All right, that's easy. Next fight. Now this is on they switched the fight order up since I printed the sheet off, but this is a fight that I know you're very, very interested in. Case Keeney. -192 favorite. He is 15-2-1. He is fighting Nathaniel Wood, 17-4, +154 underdog. You lead the dance here. Nathaniel Wood taking this fight on relatively short notice. Pride of England, Brad Pickett, star pupil. Kid looks to be in a sick shape. You know, he's only got one ugly loss in UFC, and that's to John Dodson. So I know you're a Casey Kenny guy, so I'm interested in see how you handicap this one, Dev. What do you like? I think I know.
I like Nathaniel Wood as well. I'm definitely not as high on. I'm not as high on him as I am on Casey Kenny.
Wait, did you just pick Nathaniel Wood, or are you just talking about him?
No, I like him.
Okay. All right. Clear that up.
So it's weird because like Nathaniel Wood is more known as a striker, and his one loss in the UFC is him getting knocked out. And then Casey Kenny's always been known to be like a really good wrestler, and his one loss is against a guy that kind of out wrestled him.
Rob is,
but he's a fucking animal. Marab is like.
He's different.
He could beat every bantamweight on the roster. I truly feel like he could. I think he's a hard matchup for every single one of them besides Aljamain, but I think that's another reason why Aljo is leaning towards he's already talking about retiring. I think Marab could definitely be a champion in that division. Anyway, Casey Kenny looked really, really fucking good in this fight. I think after he lost that he thought he was gonna out wrestle Marab. He thought he was going to out-scramble him, and he didn't. And I think that's when he realized I really have to get better on my striking because I'm a good enough scrambler to beat 90% of the guys in the division. But guys like Marab that are going to out-wrestle me, I have to be able to outstrike him. And I think Casey Kenny made big improvements in his striking. He fucked up Haile Alatang. Just fucked like – if he didn't get a performance bonus, that it's a sin because he looked so fucking good.
Did he not? I don't know. I don't know the fact. Well, I don't think they kept him on Fight Island and got him a fight. That's kind of a bonus. But yeah, I don't know if he got a fight or night bonus or not. He should have. He looked fantastic.
He looked amazing. His body kicks were, very reminiscent of Jan Blachowicz and Dominic Reyes. Just that same to the under the armpit, that upper section of the ribs, just fucking cracking body shots. Haile Alatang's probably still pissing blood. I don't know how he took all that damage. And he fucked him up on the feet too, and he's turning into like a pretty good counter striker. Mm-hmm. He likes to lead with his power hand sometimes, which is his right hand, but he's normally an orthodox fighter. I know Nathaniel Wood is a southpaw. Nathaniel Wood is a pretty good wrestler. Sometimes when he's not doing as good as he wants to in the striking, I think he'll go to his wrestling. And I think there's the only person at bantamweight that can probably out-scramble Casey Kenny is Marab and Aljamain Sterling. I don't think anybody else can really out-scramble him. I think if Nathaniel Wood tries to do that, he loses that fight. And I also think Casey Kenny can hurt him on the feet. I think he's the more powerful striker. He showed that. I'm in on Casey Kenny. I don't even know the line, but I don't. Even if he's a minus 300.
No, minus 192, and Nathaniel Woods plus one plus 154. You think I'm going to take Wood? I'm not. I'm taking Kenny, and here's why. Kenny looked great in his last fight. Came out southpaw, looked really good. The underdog pricing on Wood is very, very tempting. However, I went back and looked at his fights. He gets hit a lot. He likes to get in there. He likes to scrap. The Andre Ewell fight, he went in there. He got clipped a few times. His fights in Cage Wars, his fight before the UFC, that dude would get hurt a lot in a lot of those fights, and he'd come back and win. He's got a heart of a lion. John Dodson caught him. Obviously, he's been put out before. His chin, I don't know necessarily his chin's a problem. I think maybe his defense is a problem. He needs to work on that. Casey Kenny's stand-up looked fantastic. However, Casey Kenny better not come in here and think that he's going to stand up the entire time with Nathaniel Wood. He needs to mix it up more. Casey Kenny, if you watch the Manny Bermudez fight, who was 4 sizes too big for Casey Kenny at the time, he lit Casey Kenny up on the feet a little bit. Casey got hit, right? But Nathaniel Wood, really quick striker, fast hands. I think the value, if you're playing bets, if you're playing the game, the value is on Nathaniel Wood's side. Now, I think Casey Kenny is something special. I think you're right. I think the Marab thing is maybe wasn't a fluke, but Marab is on a different kind of level right now. So I'm going to go Casey Kenny here. I think the number's a little high, minus 192. You said he might have been in the minus 300s. That's what maybe you priced him at. I think it's a little high because I think Nathaniel Wood, they both have one loss in the UFC. One guy's a former champion. One guy's I don't know if Casey Kenny is a former champion in LFA, but they're coming from really good.
He's a double champion, flyweight and bantamweight.
Okay,
yeah.
So Casey Kenny was a champion in LFA, and then Nathaniel Wood's champion in Cage Wars. Those are both extremely big hubs to get into the UFC. I think this is a really, really good matchmaking. I like this match. Nathaniel Wood looks to be in crazy good shape, but I'm going to lean on Casey Kenny. I feel like he's more active. He's more settled in now, and I feel like he's going to win. And he's been on Fight Island since his last fight. He doesn't have to deal with the travel, and he's in shape, so he's ready.
And
to
it's
go.
a catch weight too, so he doesn't have to
catch
cut
weight
back to
at 140.
135.
Yeah, 140. Okay, next up, my second girlfriend in UFC. First one being Mackenzie Dern. Liana Jojua, plus 270, Dog City. 8-3. She is fighting Miranda Maverick, who is 7-2. She is a minus 355 favorite. You know what I say. I've said it a million times. Betting on women's fights is going to leave you broke, right? It's just going to leave you broke. There's no excuse for Jojua being plus 270. She's 1-1 in the UFC. Miranda Maverick hasn't even fought in the UFC yet, right? Good talent. She's young. She's like 23, 21, whatever she is. She's a fantastic talent. However, this line is absolutely absurd how high it is. It is women's MMA. Jojua is really good off her back. She's showed an armbar. Her striking needs to come along a little bit. She's tough. She's that Georgian MMA right now. She's from Georgia. These fucking Georgians are winning. I mean, Marab's winning. That fucking dude recently won from Georgia. They're having this, they're digging deep and they're winning. I'm going the underdog here. I'm going Jojua. I think it's criminal that she's this big of an underdog, and that's just free point sitting with me. Now, however, I'm picking Jojua, but if you are listening to this or watching this, however you're taking this in, I would not bet this fight, right? I wouldn't bet it either way. These are parlay busters. You can maybe take a shot at Jojua with a straight bet, but it's not my cup of tea. Really? But I'm going Jojua because I'm a loyal guy. I can't turn my back on her. She's amazing. She's hot. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't love the line. If you are gonna bet this fight anyway, do maybe like a quarter of a unit on Jojua, just a single bet, just because I'm
gonna give her a full unit, man. What are you talking about?
There you go. Give her.
Hey,
you would give her a quarter.
I've watched a lot of podcasts like this on, guys who are mid to whatever. I watched them all, right? Not one guy has talked about how hot Jojua is. Has anybody seen this woman's Instagram? It's not sexist to say this woman's hot. She's gorgeous, right? She's unreal. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, we can just look at it and I can put it up here to the
camera. Pull it up. Pull that one up where she was all sweaty and on the mat from like a couple weeks ago. I know what it is. I'm a fucking pervert.
Jesus.
I'm a soon-to-be father of two, happily married man. But listen, the wife's 8th month pregnant, guys. I mean, if you've ever done, I mean, look low down. Oh, look at her. I mean, knockout. All right, who's your pick, Dev? Let's quit being balls.
Yeah. So, I was torn on this fight because the underdog number is really good with Jojua. She's also really good off her back. Those are where her wins come from. She's got a lot of wins off her back. She has an active guard. She has triangles and shit like that. Maverick is definitely probably the stronger fighter. One thing Maverick has that's kind of rare in women's MMA is like a good takedown. Like she's got good active takedowns, but she also name. Yeah, Miranda, pretty damn cool name too.
Oh, look, she's fighting out of Norfolk, Virginia. This might be a Tim girl right here.
He can have her.
Timbo.
I would rather share the other one with you than have this one.
Timbo is happily in a relationship if he's watching and his girlfriend's by him. Happily in a relationship. But are you going Chalk City here? What are you doing, bub?
Here's the thing: is Jojua's gotten smashed on her back before. She's got an active guard, but it's like I feel like when I watch her fights, it's like a Hail Mary active guard. Mm-hmm. It's not like she's chasing things down and sticking them. I don't love her record. She's coming off that win, which is good for her, but it's her win. She looked pretty good, but her loss against Sarah Morris, like she kind of just got crushed, and then she got finished the 3rd round. I think if Maverick can get on top and stay on top and not get subbed, I think she's got the clearest path to victory to win this fight. I don't like the number, and I knew you're going to go with the underdog, number one, because she thinks she's super attractive, and number two, it's a woman's bet, and it's.
You gotta take a shot.
You got to take a shot at a number like that.
She might be watching this. You got to take a shot. I mean, I'm a married man, but hey, listen, if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's right there. Or Twitter. I don't do Instagram, but go ahead. So you're taking Maverick, right?
Yeah, I'm going to run with Maverick. Yeah. It's a fucking pick. It's just fucking chalk, and I don't love it because I don't love the number she's debuting. But she's looked good. She's got good wins like Pro Gonzalez and shit like that. So I'm somewhat confident with her. But like I'm looking at the line right now. Like 5 Dimes has her at minus 380. Bet DSI has her at minus 435. She's at Bookmaker has her at minus 450.
Hey,
crazy. These lines are crazy.
No free ads. Don't tell you where you're getting lines at, man. We're trying to get sponsored by FanDuel, not 5 Dimes.
It's just crazy. Like all these lines are just like. There's other ones too that are in the 300s, upper 300s, but like minus 450, like that. I don't agree with that line.
Dev, I'm gonna cut you off because we've talked way too long about this fight. There are so many other fights. This fight is so insignificant. Let's move on, okay? I want to hear your take on Dong Yoon Jong. When I said his fucking name, great. Minus 355 favorite. He's 13-2. He's fighting Smiling Sam Alvey. 33-14. He's a plus 270. Do you like the underdog? You like the chalk? You like the Korean? You like the American? What are you going here, bub?
I don't like this line either, really. I think Sam Alvey kind of stinks. He did well against Brian Spann, but I also think Brian Spann stinks.
It's Ryan.
Brian Spann, whatever. He deserves to be called Brian Spann. I think
Brian's a way superior name for the record. But go ahead.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
Dong Jung has got good wins. Like he finished Mike Rodriguez, but I think Mike Rodriguez is pretty fucking chinny.
It's a nice
I think Sam Alvey just has such low output at times where it's just like, oh shit. I heard the clapper. That's got to be the first round, and it's the 3rd round, and the fight's over. And he's like, "Oh, I guess I didn't throw anything."
Yeah.
The booth is gonna talk about his crazy power and all that shit. Cool. He does hit pretty hard. He's got good finishes, but like he just gives up a lot of wins. If Da Un Jung could finish this fight, he's got big enough power to do it. It's just another chalk play. I'm gonna go with Da Un Jung. I just don't trust Sam Alvey's output, and he's also been finished. And I think Dong Jun can hit hard enough. And if he can just avoid Sam Alvey's bomb, I'm pretty sure he can win this fight because Sam Alvey's just not – it's like John Dodson. It's like if he doesn't finish you, he's just not active enough.
Right. So Sam Alvey, you said something that's true. He does stink. Listen, he moved up to 205. And a lot of people are like, oh, he's got this crazy knockout power. He's knocked out one guy at 205. That was Marcin Prachnio, who has 3 losses in the UFC, all by knockout. Does not have a win in the UFC. The guy's chinny as fuck. Other than that, Sam Alvey's on a 3 or 4 fight losing streak. He has not knocked anybody out at 205. He hurt Ryan Spann a little bit. And this guy has the simplest game in the world. He stands southpaw, puts his back in the cage, doesn't move his feet a lot, likes to counter, likes to throw that left hand. Everyone knows his game. Dong Yoon Jun looked really good against Mike Rodriguez. Mike Rodriguez, obviously, the guy's never going to be a champion, in my opinion, but he's super athletic. His chin maybe is an issue, maybe a little undersized at 205, but he's really athletic and he's looked really good. He's explosive. Dong Yoon Jun just fucking sat him down with a beautiful right hand and knocked him out. This is a no-brainer. This is Dong Yoon Jun. I would not touch this line at minus 355. Put him in a parlay. I think you're safe with a parlay play here. However, I would probably go prop. I think the prop to it not go to the distance. I think you're looking at over-under rounds here. I think maybe under 1.5, under 2.5. I think it could end early. Sam Alvey, the longer the fight goes, the more he settles in, the less he's going to get knocked out. A lot of his finishes that happens to him happen early in the fight. He gets caught. He gets stung early. Dong Yoon Jun, again, I think is going to get that done. I think this is an easy play. One of the easier fights. This almost was my send him home in the night, but I didn't. I chose not to do that. All right, next up, Alex Cowboy Oliveira. He's minus 122 favorite. He is 22-8-1. He is fighting. Now, bear with me on this name. I've never heard this name pronounced before. He's making his UFC debut. Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think I fucking got it, guys. Okay, I'm not John Andy. I'm not John Andy.
You got it, dude. That's the best you've done.
I think I got that.
That's the best you've ever done.
I've never practiced that a day in my life. He's plus 100. He is 12-0. I lead the dance here, and I hear something in the background.
Be a dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
Underdog lock in the night. I got to pronounce his name again. That's the only problem. Shavkat Rakhmonov. This kid is from Kyrgyzstan, or Uzbekistan. I think Uzbekistan. He has fought really.
by way of Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan. There you go.
Born in Uzbekistan, fights out of Kazakhstan.
Bam. One of the stands. This kid is really good, right? He has fought some really good competition, right? His grappling's on point. His striking's a little stiff, right? It's a little pushy, but he hits hard. I've seen him drop guys with body shots. I've seen him hit people to the head, and he hurts them. But his bread and butter is getting the fight to the ground, beating the shit out of you, right? I don't know if he's a prolific finisher. I don't know if he's going to come to the UFC and just be a finisher, but good cardio. I've seen Alex Oliveira be very confident this week. He's talking about how he's going to knock this dude out, and he's going to show him that he hasn't fought anybody like him. Obviously, I think this is probably his best competition, his best fight. He's been fighting cats over in Russia and Europe, and they're fucking solid. Plus 100, I feel like you're stealing there. It's a very baby underdog, very, very small. I think maybe he might close in minus money, especially after I put my sign of approval on there. But yeah, this guy's going to be my underdog lock. Underdog lock of the night is going to be Ramonov. Boom! Look at that. Underdog lock of the night. I've been cashing these motherfuckers left and right, by the way. My underdog locks of the night are must bets. This is a must bet. I think he's going to take Cowboy down. I think Cowboy's dangerous in the first round. I think Cowboy is strong for this division. I think he is a decent striker. I think his striking gets played up a little bit. I don't think Rakhmonov is going to stand with him at all. I think he's going to fucking maybe stand with him a little bit, put some moves and put him in the ground. I think it's going to be, he's going to wear him, out cardio him. He's going to just fucking put the dog on him. Underdog lock of the night. Bada boom, boom, boom. Devin, are you chasing chalk here, bud? You chasing chalk? What are you doing?
If you got Shavkat at plus numbers, or you see him anywhere as plus numbers, you need to lock it in now, because what I'm looking at, he's there. It's a pick'em fight now. All the other odds makers have him as a
I
pick'em
just
fight.
checked today.
I'm
Still,
looking at
he's still plus money at my book. He's still the same, plus 100.
Put
but
money on it,
he's good to close. He's good to close as a minus. I know he will. But right now, the plus money, staring at me.
Yeah, if you can get him at plus, yeah, because he was the underdog when I checked earlier this morning. He's going to be my underdog lock of the night too. I mean,
you chicken. I'll play.
He's a dog. We don't need no meows. We don't need no cats. We need more dogs.
There you go. More dogs.
Dude, he's good. This kid's really good. M1 Global Champ. He's got a lot of finishes. All of his fights are by finish. All 12 of his wins are all by finish. He's got TKO punches. He's got people that have quit in the corner, retirement. He's got like rear naked chokes. He's got good guillotines, triangles. So he's got finishes off his back. The kid's fucking good. A lot of M1 guys have had trouble in the UFC.
That's what I meant by I don't know if he's gonna be a finisher in the UFC. Because the guys that you're fighting, yeah, but I mean, you're putting guys out that would get put out in the UFC as well. So this is a big test. Cowboy Oliveira, I mean,
he's a legend. Cowboy
he doesn't
Oliveira
get finished much. I mean, the only time I remember him getting finished was Gunner. Yancey apparently knocked him out as well, but that was because he got gassed. And that's right, other Cowboy choked him out, triangle choke.
But he had Gunner in trouble in that fight. Gunner came back late because he gassed out. That's where Alex Oliveira usually fails, is because his gas tank usually fails him. I've picked Cowboy Oliveira a lot of times with you. Even I do like him as a fighter. The guy's definitely fighting for a reason. He's got like 19 kids or some shit like that. So he's definitely fighting for a reason. He was on a pretty bad losing. Seriously, in Brazil, like strap up, bro. You got so many kids.
Country Brazil too. He's a legit cowboy.
Yeah, like he is more of a cowboy than the real cowboy.
You watch your mouth. No way.
Last Cowboy rides dirt bikes. This guy like probably takes a horse with no saddle.
You know who's a bigger cowboy than probably both of them is fucking Davison Figueroa. I heard that dude is a wild man. He owns a farm too. He's got like 1 million horses. That dude's a cowboy.
There's another dude that's a flyweight too. He's the one that cut Highland Paiva, Brazilian dude, the one that put that huge cut on Highland Paiva. God, I can't think of his fucking name.
Is he a country boy?
Yeah, but in Brazil though, so he's like slaughters pigs on his farm and all that crazy shit.
Well, that's country, baby.
Typical. But I'm going Shavkat. I think that when I saw him earlier today, I saw him as an underdog and I knew the line was going to move. I listened to a lot of different podcasts since yesterday, just really breaking down these fights. And everybody's split on him, but I knew at that number and I knew with his skill set, I was like, Brian's going to probably pick him. I'm going to pick him as my underdog lock. And you went before me. I think you made me go twice. You made me go twice in a row, so you can slide in on here.
No, I went first. You went second. I went first. No, this is my turn, man. Don't be putting fucking that out there. You picked them too. I mean, you picked them underdog lock.
Yeah, I'm picking them too. It just kind of like cancels each other out. But I want to see what this kid does. He's young. He is born. He's born in '94. He's
every single person. This is one of the few guys that has come to the UFC who's fought in an established organization as M1, even though they don't produce. I mean, every once in a while they produce someone really great, but every single person he's fought has a winning record, right? Exactly. I mean, that's rare. Usually you get a guy coming in 8-0 and he's fought fucking nobodies. Guys who are like 4-25. Every single person this guy's fought has a winning record and he's finished them. So that's impressive to me. And this is obviously his toughest test with Cowboy, making his UFC debut. I mean, all he's got to do is be in shape. He's in shape. His skills are going to take over for him. I mean, I just hope he's not hurt or whatever like that. All right, we got to move on to the heavyweights. Stefan Struve, -120. The skyscraper, 29-12. He's fighting Tai Tuivasa, who is 10-3. He's a -102 underdog, slight underdog on Tai Tuivasa here. Pay 102 to win 100. It's your lead here, Dev. You like the skyscraper? You like Tai?
I don't like this fight happening.
Like, girl, why not?
I just Tuivasa's got a losing record. Stefan Struve's got like heart problems. He's retired. He's not retired. I don't like when fighters retire and then unretire. I would love to know the number of how many fighters that have retired and come back and gone on a win streak, or how many have lost the first fight after coming back from retirement.
I mean, Conor McGregor's retired like 6 times. He won his last fight.
Yeah. Only one he talks about. The only fight he talks about is the fight he lost.
Well, Stefan retired because of a heart thing, and then he also had really bad anxiety. So I think he retired because it was too much for him, not that he didn't love it. Some guys retire because they love it and they come back because they want to cash a paycheck. I think that's a little different here, right? I think that's a little different. I don't love the fight either. I will say that. But it is what it is. Go ahead, keep breaking it down.
It's like Struve has problems against guys like Tuivasa that can, rush in and put big power on him. Mm-hmm. He has problems with guys like that, but Tuivasa is just so like he's tough. He doesn't have the greatest chin, but he's tough. So you definitely need to be tough at heavyweight, and you definitely need to hit hard at heavyweight. Stefan Struve, even though he's got like that weird TKO finish over Stipe, like Stefan Struve isn't putting people out, like, you know what I mean? He's not deading dudes. Like, he doesn't have the heavyweight power. I don't think he is very durable either, especially anymore. But Tuivasa's got so many holes in his game. Struve has submission finishes. I think Tuivasa can be taken down and finished, but I also think he can knock Struve out. I think it's like a super 50-50 fight. I was just going to go opposite of whatever you did. I'm kind of leaning Stefan Struve. I think he might choke Tuivasa out. But I could also see whatever happens, I won't be surprised. Like, they could.
So you want to go on record? You want to go on record and say you're going to go opposite who, me?
I was thinking you're going to go. I'm going to pick Stefan Struve. I have a feeling he's going to get knocked out because I feel like you're picking Tuivasa as an underdog.
I'm not. I hate Tai Tuivasa. I think the guy sucks. His personality sucks. I think his game is overrated. I think he got in the UFC because of his personality that some people find attractive with the shoeies and all that shit. I don't like him. I've watched this guy on the I Am the Bay YouTube channel. I've seen him in practice. I think he's an asshole. He went to AKA for a little bit, tried to shore up his wrestling. He did not do this camp in AK, obviously because of COVID and whatnot. So he trained there in Australia. I just don't like the guy. I think he's a little overrated. I think he's a lot overrated, excuse me. He has power, but I think it's a little deceiving power. I mean, yeah, sure, he's got that one flying knee knockout. That's wonderful. But Stefan Struve does walk into a lot of shit, right? I mean, Tai Tuivasa is going to obviously have the size disadvantage here. He's not going to have the reach or whatever. He's got to throw haymakers. He's got to throw big shots. That's going to gas him out. I think Stefan Struve finally, hopefully, fights smart, fights on the outside, throws some kicks up the middle, throws a jab out there, keeps at distance, keep at range. Tai Tuivasa has been knocked out. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, I believe. He might have won his last fight. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm not a Tai Tuivasa guy. I just don't think he's all that good. I think Stefan Struve, not as good either, but look at the level of competition too. Stefan Struve has fought fucking everybody.
Way better.
Wins, losses, whatever.
Too.
He's fought fucking everybody. That Stipe win is a crazy circumstance. It's a win, but it's a crazy circumstance. I just think the biggest knock on Stefan Struve that I've always heard, right, is he just doesn't work hard, right? He's got all the ability. He's 7 fucking foot. He's put size on himself. And he just doesn't work hard in the gym. I've heard people say that about him. That's a long-standing thing with Stefan Struve. It's the guy just doesn't want to work hard for whatever reason. He could probably be a world champ. He started the sport very young. I think he's probably still fairly young. I'm going to lean on him this way. I like at -120. This is a fight that I'm probably going to bet as well. I like betting fights that are very even in numbers, and it's almost like a coin flip, and I don't really know which way it's going to go. I'm going to lean on this side and hopefully get him, but I'm like 60-40 on this fight. I'm actually fairly confident that Stefan Struve's going to come out here, finally put a jab together, finally come out here and fucking I don't think he'll finish. Maybe he'll finish Tai by submission, or if Tai gets tired in the fight, which is going to happen, but I see probably a decision win, a classic decision win. All right, next up. Hopefully this is like starting to become cursed area, right? I don't even want to bring it up, knock on wood. Magomed Ankalaev, who is, 12-1, 13-1. He is a -290 favorite. He is fighting Ian Cutelaba. He is 15-5. He's a +225 underdog. I lead the dance here, and I've loved this fight since Ankalaev destroyed him the first time. Every single time they have matched up, I've actually picked this fight before already on the podcast before it got canceled, and I did the same thing. I'm doing it now. Ankalaev is going to be my mortal lock. I think he absolutely buzzsaws Cutelaba here. I think Cutelaba stinks, and I'm putting a lot of money on Ankalaev. I hate that he's this high. I really, truly do. You're going to have to put a lot down to win a little, but it's a fight that I'm very confident in. I'm actually going to play it 3 ways. Let me get this out of my face here. I'm going to play it money line, right? Straight. I'm going to put him in a parlay, and I'm going to put him to finish as well. I'm all in on Ankalaev here is my mortal lock over Cutelaba. I think this kid's the real deal at 205. I really do. I think he's going to give a lot of guy problems. I think he's super underrated. I think people only remember him for his last-second chokeout loss to Paul Craig. Other than that, I think this kid is fucking legit, and I think he's got power. I think his striking is good. He throws some really good straight punches, and his grappling, he's got good takedowns. I necessarily don't think he's a submission threat, but he's got good takedowns. Who you like, Dev? Listen, you've talked about Cutelaba before, so let's see what you got here, bub.
I watched a bunch of Cutelaba fights. I watched him fucking buzzsaw Khalil Roundtree, which is like his most impressive win. That was like, he just fucking ran through him. I don't know where. I think in that face-off where he got into Khalil Roundtree's head and Khalil Roundtree just fucking folded. Because I feel like Khalil Roundtree is definitely the better fighter. I feel like Khalil Roundtree should win that fight, but I watched a bunch of Cutelaba fights. I watched his Jared Cannonier fight. I watched his Glover Teixeira fight. I was flirting with Cutelaba, but I can't pick him. The thing is, if he doesn't get you out of there in the first minute 45, because he hurts everybody. Like, he hurt Glover. He almost put Glover out, but then he gassed out and lost. I don't think he's well-rounded enough. I think if Ankalaev decides to strike with him, he can beat him in the striking battle. I think if Ankalaev can get it past the first round and take him down and ground and pound him out, he can finish him in the second round. Ankalaev's got good takedowns. He's got good top control. He's the more technical striker. I would argue that Cutelaba is the more powerful puncher. Ankalaev's got really good head kicks. He fights better at range. For a light heavyweight, he probably throws the fastest head kick at light heavyweight. Like, the dude throws a fast fucking head kick. It's quick. It's fast.
We got time it. We got to get a stopwatch out, man. We got time it. Get him on that. What is that sports science show? There's that sports science show where they do that.
PFL does it.
They time shit like that. Yeah, I mean, he's not a small light heavyweight. You might be right.
How hard? PFL does that. That's the one thing I love about PFL is they show like the mile an hour for the punch, the kick, the prep, like, the whole 9 yards. UFC should adopt that. That'd be fucking cool. But I'm gonna go with Ankalaev. I'm not gonna make him a mortal lock yet.
What are you gonna ride my coattails, bro?
But I'm pretty confident in Ankalaev. I just think he's the more technical striker and he's a better grappler. He's got a better gas tank, and Cutelaba just gasses out. Like his Jared Cannonier fight, Cannonier was just shoulder rolling all of his punches, just walking him down. Cutelaba was gassed. Like if Cannonier wanted, he's all he is. If Cannonier wanted to plant his feet and knock him out, he could have knocked him out right then and there. So yeah, I just think Ankalaev is a better guy. It's hard to pick. Cutelaba.
I'll never find it, and I doubt I even still have it. But I could have swore in our little group chat months ago you picked Cutelaba. I thought you were picking Cutelaba.
I did. No, I did. I switched it.
I'm on to you. All right, next up, Lauren Murphy. She is 13-4. She's a minus 280 favorite. She is fighting Lilia Shakarova, who is 8-1, plus 220. Devin, you lead the dance here. Sorry, you lead with the females. I mean, obviously, let's speed through this because I think we all know who we're both going to pick in this fight.
I was going to pick Lauren Murphy even if she was fighting Cynthia Calvillo.
That's right.
I think Lauren Murphy's really. She's not. I'm not gonna say she's really good, but like she's good in that division.
She's good. She's fucking big and strong. She's good.
Yeah, she's good in the clinch. She's got good power. She lacks head movement, but she's fucking tough. Like she'll take the shots to give him. She's a hard puncher. She's got decent grappling, a decent top game, decent striking. She's really really tough. And she's one of the bigger women's flyweights. I'm pretty sure Shakarova is coming up from 115. I've watched some of her tape. She likes to rely on the grappling. I just think Lauren Murphy is going to be the bigger girl, the stronger girl. And when it comes to women's fights, they're not as technical as men. So the more athletic and the stronger ones normally win. Look at Jessica Andrade and Chikagian. Like that's a perfect example. Just a bigger, more athletic, stronger girl. Got it done. I think Lauren Murphy will do that. Even though Chikagian is taller, obviously Andrade is, more beefy and a lot stronger. And I just think Lauren Murphy is going to be the stronger girl here. I'm going to go with Lauren Murphy.
Yeah, I didn't look any tape up of the girl, the short notice replacement girl. I just think Lauren Murphy's hot right now. She's on a 3-fight win streak. She's beating top competition. She's going to the ground with girls who are legit threats on the ground, no problem. She's big, she's strong. The only negative thing about Lauren Murphy is her age. She's 37 years old. When is that going to finally catch up to her? I don't think it will. I think she's super athletic. She's super in shape. She's with a great team, great mindset. Yeah, I'm all in on Lauren Murphy. This is the female fight I would bet because I'm that convicted in Lauren Murphy. All right, next up. Was that a main card fight? Yeah, that was a kick off the main card. That's a rough. That shouldn't.
Ankalaev.
Ankalaev kicks off the main card. Excuse me. That's right. It's a 6-fight main card. All right. So next up, Phil Hawes, who is 8-2. He's a minus 280 favorite. He is fighting Jacob Malkoun, who is 4-0. He's a plus 220 underdog. I lead the dance here. Listen, I've heard of Phil Hawes for years. Wrestling standout, stud, trains with Jackson, used to, I don't know if he still does, was on the Contender Series, got knocked out, got brought back, won in a fantastic fashion, didn't even look happy. He said, my journey just began. I feel like he took a lot of the shit people were saying about him, how good he was, and he really, really felt that, right? He went in there, he's laid some eggs, his chin has been tested, he has been knocked out before, but he's got wrestling, he's got striking, he's got explosiveness. The kid is the real deal at 185. Here comes Jacob Malkoun. 4-0, right? Nothing impressive. I've seen all 4 fights. Watch him on YouTube. Rob Whittaker's main training partner. The guy's got competent striking. His hands look really good. His boxing look really good. He does not fight like Rob Whittaker. Doesn't kind of have that karate stance, but he presses forward. He's aggressive. He likes to grapple as well. Like he doesn't shy away from the grappling, but his boxing is really good. I had just a quick little thing in my head that Malkoun could catch Hawes because Hawes has chin problems before. He's been knocked out, but I just can't risk that. I am going to probably bet heavy on Hawes as a single play here. I think could be the potential future of this division. I think his athleticism is off the charts. The more he learns about MMA, the more he learns about his confidence, defense, all that stuff. I think he's going to be a fucking problem. I'm going Phil Hawes here, minus 280. I'm not scared of that number. I'm going to play him straight. I'm going to play him a prop. Malkoun, 4-0, fought nobodies, right? He's Australian based. These Australian guys usually don't light the world on fire. However, he's training Rob Whittaker in a good camp. Plus 220. If you're a Malkoun fan, if you're an Aussie, if you're down there from Aussie land, you might want to play that. I'm not going to play it. I'm going to go Hawes here. Give me an underdog play, Dev. Do it.
I'm not picking Malkoun either. I'm going to go with Phil Hawes as well. I just don't. I watched his 4 fights as well. They're on YouTube. Jacob Malkoun looks good. He's got decent feints, decent striking. But he's
I feel like sorry to cut you off. I just feel like this might be upset of the night. I don't have the balls to take it. If you're watching this or listening to this, you have the balls to take it. Do it. This could be upset of the night. I'm scared. I literally wrote down nervous on here. I'm fucking nervous for this fight.
It's like I thought you would take the underdog on this because just Phil Haas has shown the chin problems and Malkoun has shown competent striking, but I just don't know if he packs enough power, and I don't think he's an explosive enough of an athlete to hurt Phil Haas. I think Phil Haas is a big dude. He's going to be more explosive. He can rely on his wrestling. He has shown issues with this gas tank, but then I just feel like he's just way better athlete. I think Malkoun is kind of coming in here as Robert Whittaker's main training partner. Let's get this guy a fight. He's going to be in my corner or fight a fight on the same card as me type of deal because he's been in Whittaker's corner before. I just haven't seen anything that has blown me away or made me confident in that he can beat a guy like Phil Haas. But it's a playable number because Haas has been hurt before. Malkoun has shown a pretty good gas tank in the fights that I watched. And he's got competent striking. So competent striking versus a guy that's gassed the fuck out in the third round can get a finish. But like you said, it's a nervous pick. Like it's, gun to my head, Haas, but like Malkoun can pull it off. Haas can gas out. If Haas doesn't finish him in the first or second round, who knows what the fuck's going to happen.
I like Haas. I think Haas is the better fighter.
But he's good. He's the better athlete. He's got bigger power. He's got probably better striking. He definitely has better grappling. The gas tank and the chin are I'm
gonna see if you ride my fucking coattails for the final 3 fights. I'm gonna see how we pick. If we're too lined up a little bit, I'm gonna come back and maybe switch. Maybe, I don't know. I just have a fucking feeling. All right, next up,
you can tie or lose. You know what I mean?
Alexander Volkov, who is 21-8, he's minus 172 favorite. He is fighting Walt Harris, the big ticket. Underrated nickname. I actually like that nickname. 13-8, he's a plus 140 underdog. Dev, you got the big boys. Who we like here, bud? This is a good fight. This is a lot of fun. There's a lot of people all over on this fight.
Yeah. I really feel like they're kind of doing a disservice to Walt Harris. I know they're really trying to ride his story of his daughter's, kidnap and death, which is absolutely fucking terrible. So they're like, he just beat Alistair Overeem. He just beat Alexander Volkov. I think they're really trying to do that because that's a marketable story. But I really think that they should have gave him a guy like Tai Tuivasa that he could just knock the fuck out and add to his highlight reel and then give him, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, Walt Harris has got a near losing record. He's got 13 wins, 8 losses. He's a super athletic dude. He's got really big power, impressive knockouts. The way he knocked out Olenek, made him blow up his knee. That was really, really impressive. But he doesn't have a good gas tank. He's another 1-round fighter. He's literally another 1-round fighter. Alexander Volkov has 31 wins and 8 losses. So they both have the same amount of losses, but Volkov has nearly 3 times the amount of wins. Volkov has definitely fought the better guys. Everybody looks at the way he got knocked out by Derek Lewis. But he was winning that fight up until that point. I don't think Walt Harris carries that same amount of power up into the 3rd round. I think if Volkov can stay away from Walt Harris, get into exchanges with him to make him throw, but make him gas, I think Volkov is just the more technical guy. He has a pretty good chin. The one thing he is lacking in the heavyweight division is knockout power. He doesn't have crushing power. Even though he does have finishes, they're more of like, he's been piecing you up for a minute. You're getting tired. Holy fuck, I don't like this anymore. I feel like you're going to pick Walt Harris, but I'm going to pick Volkov. I just think Volkov is a better fighter. He's got better wins. He's beaten way better dudes. If the whole story that happened with Walt Harris's daughter and all that didn't happen to him, he wouldn't be fighting this fight right now. It would be someone lower in the rankings. And I hate to say that, but I just really feel like that's the absolute truth. I would rather them give him a winnable fight that he can show out on. And he might make me look stupid. And he might come out and finish Volkov in the 1st round. But Volkov is just such a technical kickboxer. I don't see that happening.
Well, this is going to be my send him home.
Send him home. Send him home early.
But who am I? It's Walt Harris, baby. The big ticket. Let me tell you something, right? You're absolutely right. He's a one-round fighter, right? This goes later. We're in trouble. The Walt Harris who showed up against Alistair Overeem, who almost had Alistair Overeem hurt and finished in that first round, was 30 pounds out of shape. I've seen the embeddeds. Walt Harris looks to be in fantastic shape. Looks like he has his mind on right. He's got his head coach there. He's got Eric Andrews in his corner. He stayed in Alabama for this. He's training. I think his cardio is going to be better. Obviously, he's never going to be a cardio machine. I think he's going to get after it. I think he's embarrassed by the Overeem fight, right? Overeem, world-class fighter, one of the best to ever do it. I think he's going to be embarrassed. I think Volkov's going to want to stay away from him in that first round, use his length, use his size. But listen, Volkov's 6'7", Walt Harris is 6'5". The reach of disadvantage isn't going to be all that big. I'm not worried about it. I think Volkov looked a little rusty on the feet with Curtis Blades. I think Curtis Blades hit him a little too much for my liking. Curtis Blades doesn't have the best hands in the world. I think if you get hit by Walt Harris, you're going to get finished. I mean, this guy's finished Chase Sherman, Shiro Asker, Daniel Spitz, had a split decision, no contest, Andre Arlovsky, Price on weed shit. Knocked out Sergey Spivak, knocked out Alexei Olenek, almost had Overeem knocked out where he was 30 pounds overweight. This guy can get it done. You got to take him in the first round. So if you are in a state that allows live betting, I would bet this under 1.5 in Walt money line. If it goes past 2 rounds, hammer Volkov as much as you can, because I just don't see Walt winning it past the second round. However, I'm going to take Walt Harris here. Underdog play, plus 140. Might send him home. I think you can catch him, right? Volkov's been knocked out 2 or 3 times. He's been hurt multiple times in fights. I think he can get done. Walt Harris as a finisher when he comes in shape. I think he would have finished Alistair Overeem if he wasn't so fat. And I think he looks fantastic. I think he's going to look fantastic on the scales tomorrow as well. So, yeah, Walt Harris, big ticket, baby. Big ticket. All right, co-main event. We'll go ahead.
No, that's kind of like, that's what I'm leaning on. I agree with you 100%. Like if you are going to, bet any props, definitely bet the prop that it's under 1.5 rounds. You could even bet the prop of a first round finish. And if it goes later, I favor Volkov, and that's why I'm just favoring him to fight smart. I feel like he has a better fight IQ. I'm betting on him being the veteran and fighting like a vet. And using Walt Harris's weakness to his advantage. That's really what I'm betting on. But you're 100% right. Walt Harris could come out here and just fucking knock his head off because the dude cracks really hard.
I don't see Volkov going for a takedown. I don't see how he could get Walt Harris down. He's not a wrestler. They're going to clinch a lot, if anything, try to wear Walt down. But I just see Walt's catching him. He's fast. He's athletic. He's tough, dude.
It's 100% doable. And if it doesn't go past that, if it goes past the 1.5 rounds, you could just fucking hedge it. Like you said.
Yeah, but if it goes past that round, fucking Volkov's going to be a huge favorite. But yeah, I mean, this is a fight that I'm going to play. This is a fight that I don't do live betting. I got to drive to Indiana for my pets. But yeah, I like this. All right, co-main event. We got the 2 big fights here. Robert Whittaker, the Reaper. Bobby Knuckles, plus 104. Underdog, he's 21 and 21-5. Excuse me, Jared Cannonier. Crystals. I'm just going Crystals. I know that's not his nickname. It's the Killer Gorilla. 13-4. He's a minus 128. Underdog. I lead the dance here. Yeah, this fight's tough. Okay, so this is the fight that hung me up all week. Cannonier's look great at 185, but I feel like some of that competition was kind of made for him. I feel like his only real win is Hermanson. He fucking kicked Anderson Silva's legs out, great. And he beat fucking David Branch, who's in the UFC anymore, who wasn't on a steroid, so he couldn't compete with the highest level. We haven't seen Cannonier go 3 rounds yet, which is a big thing. He looks to be in tremendous shape. I heard he didn't even have to cut weight for this fight, like literally no weight. He just came in, trimmed and ready. I mean, he looks fucking unbelievable considering where he came from heavyweight to now to this. I've watched a lot of Robert Whittaker fights. I watched a lot of Janet Cannonier fights. Whittaker is striking, is very good. It's very in and out. It's very herky-jerky, and he goes for it. Jared Cannonier is a pretty good counter striker. He's not the fastest guy in the world. He does hit very hard, but he's a really good counter striker. Whittaker's got to watch out for that. He got caught by a counter with Darren Till, but he looked really good in that fight. He fought 5 rounds. This is a 3-round fight, which I think advantages Cannonier. I think it was a 5-round fight. I think Robert Whittaker maybe would be the favorite. Whittaker's fought the better competition. He's a former champion. I know a lot of people think he's washed. He's out of it. I just don't know if I buy Cannonier yet. I want Cannonier to win in a way because I think Cannonier, if he's the real deal, he goes out there and destroys Whittaker. We see Izzy versus Cannonier. I'm an Izzy guy. I want to see that fight. I necessarily don't really want to see Robert Whittaker versus Izzy because I think the same thing's going to happen what happened before. With that being said, though, the plus number next to Robert Whittaker's name is something I can't look over. I think the guy is faster, and I think he's going to be in and out. I think he's just got really watched to get caught. He's fought very similar, bulky, big guys like Cannonier in the past with the Yoel Romero, who Yoel Romero is a little more explosive, but he does like the counter. Cannonier isn't as explosive, but I think probably maybe hits just as hard as Yoel Romero and is a little more accurate and has better fight IQ. Not to be long-winded here, I'm going Robert Whittaker. I'm actually pretty confident in this pick now that I finally landed on it. Robert Whittaker, Bobby Knuckles, plus 104. Almost my underdog lock, but I respect Cannonier too much to do that to him. So, listen, you've been singing Jared Cannonier's praises for months. If you don't pick him, you're dead. Who you got, Dad?
So, what I'm looking at is they're both at a minus at like, I'm not going to say the other 10.
Yeah. Don't.
Sportsbook.
Let me look at my site. Yeah, my site, Whittaker's still a plus. So we're good. My bookie's
you
a
might
plus.
want to refresh it. Yeah, because that everywhere I'm looking is they're both minus 110, minus 111, minus 108, minus 120, minus 110, minus 107, minus 107. So they have it as a dead pick 'em, minus 111, minus 111. The larger, the bigger minus is coming in on Cannonier by like
just refreshed, plus still in the plus, baby. Hammer it!
Yeah, so that if you it's a winnable fight for both guys. I looked at a lot of Robert Whittaker and a lot of Jared Cannonier. I'm a fan of both guys. I like both guys. I've watched both. I've watched, all of their fights, not all their fights, but a lot of their UFC fights multiple times. I think Robert Whittaker has similar issues to Korean Zombie, where it comes to they're in an exchange, their opponent will exit the exchange, and Robert Whittaker will chase exchanges. I think that's a big problem with him, and I think that's why Robert Whittaker gets countered a lot. Robert Whittaker does get hit a lot. He's tough as fuck, but all the times you see him get hit, he's chasing down those lengthy, explosive combinations. I feel like he's explosive and fast, and that's why he can hurt a lot of people with those. And he likes to do that ducking high kick, that herky-jerky weird high kick that he does. I just feel like Jared Cannonier hits so hard, and Robert Whittaker has taken so much damage. Like that step-in elbow that Till hit Robert Whittaker with, if Jared Cannonier threw that same strike, Robert Whittaker would have left on a stretcher. I think Jared Cannonier will give up rounds, but he is a pretty accurate counterpuncher. And the self-belief that Jared Cannonier has is like unparalleled. The dude really, really believes that he is made to be the middleweight champion. Whether it's true or not is something else, but Jared Cannonier has another realm of self-belief.
I actually don't like that. What he's been talking this week, I feel like he's a little delusional to me. He hasn't done anything yet. It's almost
weird.
like Joanna leading up to Rose, and Joanna was saying, "It's my destiny, I'm the best," and she was doing these speeches. I'm like, this bitch is gonna get knocked out.
Yeah. So I just feel like Robert Whittaker gets touched in every fight. He gets hurt in every fight. He survives and wins. Obviously, besides Israel Adesanya. But I just think Jared Cannonier will probably lose the fight, probably get touched. I think Robert Whittaker is probably going to try to mix in some takedowns. Cannonier.
Don't you do it.
Cannonier has shown. Oh, I'm picking Jared Cannonier.
Okay. You just said I think Jared Cannonier is going to lose the fight, and I thought it was coming around to.
No,
okay.
I think he'll be losing the fight until he wins the fight.
Okay.
Like I can see Robert Whittaker having success, being the faster fighter, but I don't love to rely on someone's power when that's their. It's like kind of like betting Francis Ngannou, but I feel like Jared Cannonier is a more complete fighter than Ngannou. I just think Cannonier, at one point in his life, the dude weighed 300 pounds. Like he is now walking around at like he's probably cutting 4 or 5 pounds of water weight.
I heard he was 187.
But he's fucking Shred City.
because there's no fact to cut, right? He's talking about, he made a joke on Fight Island. So he's like, to Michael Chiesa. He's like, if I win this fight, if I win the belt, you come up to 85, I'll go to 70. Because he was talking about how big Chiesa looked. And I think he was serious. I think he's saying he could cut to 70.
I'm pretty sure, like, even out of all the heavyweights, like, right now on Fight Island, Jared Cannonier might just be like the strongest dude on that whole fucking island. Like, he's definitely the most shredded dude. There's no one on that island. There's no one on that island.
Walt Harris,
Walt Harris is.
They walk by each other. Walt's like, dude, why are you walking around with your shirt off? You're embarrassing me. He's like, I'm still cute though. But when they were by each other, Cannonier shred city, but Walt Harris is a fucking big dude.
He's a beast of a man. Yeah. But like, Cannonier's got to be the most in dude shape on Fight Island right now. Yeah. Like the amount of push-ups that guy could probably do, or pull-ups, like on a pull-up bar, he could probably rip off like 200 in a row.
Who do you think will win an arm wrestling match, him or me?
If you use both arms, you would have a chance.
I've never lost an arm wrestling before. Fucking shoulders are giant. All right, main event time.
Are you the champ of the office?
Well, there's a guy at work. He's not watching this, but there's a guy at work who was on a platform that was like, all right, let's arm wrestle. And I put my arm in a box, and he just shot it down while he was like 4 feet in the air, and he's like, I won. He won't rematch me. Anyway, main event time.
Is that the same guy you wrestled?
Yes, same day, too. I kicked his ass wrestling 5 seconds later. God. Main event time. This is what we're here for, baby. Khabib Nurmagomedov minus 340. Numbers jumping all over the place. He's undefeated. He's 28-0. Everyone knows that. Justin Gaethje is 22-2. He's a plus 260. Devin, you got the main event first here, buddy. I'm pretty sure I know who you're going to pick, but break it down how you see it, and I'm going to break it down how I see it. And let's go.
Everybody's talking about Justin Gaethje's amazing takedown defense and all of his amazing wrestling, but he is literally the only people that Michael Johnson took him down, but like the other shots that Michael Johnson took were like out of desperation. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like Justin Gaethje hasn't fought anybody that's coming out to strictly take him down and turn it into a wrestling grappling match. Everybody stands with him, whether they win or lose. Everybody stands with him. Eddie Alvarez took him down, but that was and made takedown attempts, but that's also when he was gassed and after they both took a lot of damage. There's just a lot of fucking factors on picking Khabib in this fight. Like his dad just passed away. His dad was his main coach. I mean, everybody loves their parents, but the relationship that this guy had with his dad was like, unparalleled. I don't know anybody that's that close to a parent. Also his head coach. I don't know if his dad is there to crack the whip. I feel like Khabib is going to, the dude cared about his dad so much. I feel like it's either going to make him fight at a deficit, or he's going to be like, this is for my dad's honor. And he is going to put Justin Gaethje's head through the canvas. It's like one or the other for me. Gaethje has big power. If Gaethje has really good shot selection when it comes to punches, especially since he decided to stop getting into brawls with people. I really like Justin Gaethje and I really like Khabib Nurmagomedov. Both of you and I both picked Gaethje to beat Tony Ferguson, and we both picked him to do it by knockout. So we both nailed that one, and that's exactly what happened. It's just hard to bet against Khabib. He's got a perfect record. I feel like if Khabib slips and doesn't get that first or second takedown, and Justin Gaethje puts hands on him, Khabib, when I watch him fight and he gets hit, he doesn't panic, but he doesn't look like he loves to get hit. And we all know Justin Gaethje doesn't give a fuck about getting hit. Justin Gaethje will take 3 to land 1. Gaethje can put hands on Khabib and finish this fight. I just think Khabib is going. He said it. He goes, "You've never fought anybody that's going to come out and wrestle you for 25 minutes for 5 straight rounds." Khabib sounds like he's ready to wrestle for 5 rounds. Khabib has been known to take rounds off. Everybody talks about the Ally Quinta fight. To me, Khabib seems like the type of guy that does a lot of tape study on his opponents. But at the same time, it's like, how are you going to tape study for somebody that doesn't get taken down? Everybody knows what Khabib wants to do and nobody can stop it. Everybody says that. Khabib isn't the greatest takedown specialist. He will chase it and chain it together over and over again. He likes that single leg. He likes to grab the single leg and force your back against the cage and then take you down with trips. And then once you're down, you're fucked. Like if Khabib is on top of you, you are either getting finished in that round or you're losing that round. And more than likely it's a 10-8 round. Like there's not many times where Khabib, if Khabib's on top of you, you lost the round at a minimum. So it's just hard for me to pick Justin Gaethje. I love Justin Gaethje. I have a weird feeling that Justin Gaethje is going to knock out Khabib. I have a weird feeling, but he could also win a decision because the way that fights are supposed to be judged is by damage, effective, damage, effective striking, effective grappling, octagon control. Khabib's most effective weapon is his wrestling. So it's the damage can and should outweigh wrestling. If Justin Gaethje hurts him a couple times, he could win this fight even by decision. But I do see Khabib just doing what he always does. Gaethje has been more measured. He has shown a better gas tank. Like he showed a good gas tank against Tony Ferguson. But it's a good gas tank because he's striking and fighting on his terms. How good is your gas tank when you're on your back, getting your legs grapevined and getting put in the Dagestani handcuff, and the other dude is putting his forehead in your fucking nose and punching you, just beating the shit out of you. So it's just hard to bet against Khabib. But Justin Gaethje is a live dog in this fight, 100%. At plus, what do you have him at? I know he's up
260.
So at plus 260 odds, like if you're a betting man and you're just betting numbers, Justin Gaethje is probably the most live dog to fight Khabib in the last 10 fights. I think he's got the best chance out of Khabib's last 10 opponents to beat him. I think Dustin Poirier was too worried about the takedown. To really try to let his hands go. Justin Gaethje likes to move forward. That Khabib doesn't have those reactive blast doubles. I'm sure he's been fucking training them because Justin Gaethje likes to move forward. But I mean, I could talk about it forever. I'm leaning Khabib. I have a feeling you're picking Gaethje. It'd be crazy if Gaethje won this fight. The UFC would be turned upside down. It'd be incredible. It really would.
People said that when he beat Ferguson.
Yeah.
Because Ferguson was supposed to fight Khabib forever. Are you taking Khabib? I'm
taking Khabib.
All right.
Yeah, I'm taking Khabib.
Well, listen. You don't win money betting against Khabib. You just don't, right? It's like the old saying. You don't win money betting against Alabama. You don't win money betting against the Patriots. But I don't gamble football anymore. I don't gamble college football. You bet money winning underdogs. Okay? Now, you broke it down stylistically of how the fight's going to go. There's nothing I can say more than you. Khabib's going to want to take this fight to the ground. Justin Gaethje is going to want to keep this standing. Justin Gaethje has wrestled. He has a wrestling past. Apparently, his best wrestling weapon when he wrestled collegiately was his defensive. Apparently, he gave Jordan Burroughs fits, one of the greatest All-American wrestlers of all time. He knocked out Jordan Burroughs' teeth when Burroughs was trying to take him down. Look up Jordan Burroughs was Ben Askren, who's also a fantastic wrestler. Jordan Burroughs completely destroyed Ben Askren. Right. So, Gaethje, we've heard about the wrestling chops. Will it matter against Khabib? Yes and no. If he's against the cage, he's fucked. If he's in the center, Khabib's not getting that single like he did against Conor. He's not getting that single like he did against Darrell Horcher. He's not getting those singles. You go back all the way to the Gleison Tebow fight. Gleison Tebow, good grappler, not the best wrestler, but good grappler. Khabib couldn't take him down. Didn't take him down one time. That's when he went to AKA, though. He hadn't been to AKA yet. Then he went to AKA, and all he had was a single. And he started working his upper body with DC. Chest on chest, one underhook, one overhook. That's where he's the best. Against the cage, chest to chest, one underhook, one overhook. You start searching for the underhook, he dumps you down. I've watched countless videos of how to defeat Khabib's wrestling. I've watched countless videos of all the times Justin Gaethje has wrestled. I'm taking all that away, right? There's Yanni the Greek, that fucking bozo. The way he picks fights is he doesn't even look at the names or numbers. He looks at stats, which I think is horrible. When you got a guy who's so dominant against another guy, I start looking at things that are a little immeasurable, right? So Justin Gaethje has Trevor Whitman in his corner, who's a pretty goddamn good coach. Trevor Whitman was with Rose Namajunas when she upset at Joanna as a huge underdog, right? No one thought anyone's going to beat Joanna, knocked her out. Trevor Whitman was the coach for Rashad Evans when Rashad won the title. He was the coach for Shane Carwin when Shane Carwin went to the title. Didn't win it. Well, he won the interim, but he got smoked by Brock Lesnar. This guy's been in there. He's been in there against the odds. He knows how to come up with a game plan. Justin Gaethje's crazy. Justin Gaethje is another level. Justin Gaethje also took that fight on Tony Ferguson on very short notice. It was a new improved Justin Gaethje, the very patient Justin Gaethje. He took the fight on short notice. That wasn't even what we got to see yet. He's evolving all the time. He's always said, I haven't wrestled in fights because I get tired, right? He's had 3-4 months knowing this fight's coming up to train. And he's got a little guy in his camp now who they've released footage of them going back and forth wrestling is Kamaru Usman, who's a bigger Khabib, essentially, right? Maybe not as polished as a Dagestan wrestler's Khabib, but a good, big fucking wrestler, and Kamaru couldn't hold him down. Justin Gaethje's takedown defense is good, but his scrambling's better. Now you got Khabib. Khabib's striking is pretty good. A lot of people shit on it a little bit. His striking's okay. Obviously, he dropped Conor. He was really aggressive with Ally Quinta. He likes to march forward. He doesn't, his defense, his quick reflexes are really good. His head movement's really good. If you catch him stiff, like Michael Johnson hit him pretty good. I didn't think he was all that rock, but he definitely got buzzed. Poirier buzzed him a little bit. Conor didn't really do much to him. So there's options for Khabib here in the stand-up, right? Khabib's been saying all week. So now you got to look at the mental side of this thing. Khabib's been saying all week, I'm going to make this guy tired. I'm going to make this guy tired. Justin has already said, wrestling makes me tired. Khabib has been wrestling his whole life, doesn't get tired, right? He takes rounds off, but he doesn't get tired. Khabib's going to go out there, wrestle hard, and he said on the interview embedded with Daniel Cormier too. He said the difference between me and you in DC is you shoot a single leg against Stipe, you don't get it, and you don't shoot the rest of the fight. You just gave up on it. With me, if I shoot a single leg, I don't get it, I'm shooting 100 times, right? I think Khabib can shoot 100 times and not get tired. I really do. He looks to be in good shape. Obviously, we've got the dad stuff hanging over him. What's that going to be like? I'm not too worried about that right now because I've bet against guys who've been in tragic losses and they've looked great. And then there's times like Walt Harris and Jake Shields when they've lost people and they've looked like shit, right? Jake Shields' dad died like a week before the Jake Ellenberger fight and got knocked out, right? He was a huge favorite in that fight. Anyway, so you look at what they're saying. Justin Gaethje's saying all the right things. Are you going to believe him? You're not going to believe him, right? He's with Trevor Whitman. He's doing all the right stuff. Long story short, I'm taking Justin Gaethje as the underdog here. I think he's going to knock out Khabib. I think he's going to catch Khabib late in the fight. I think it's the only way he wins. I do not think they're going to give Justin Gaethje a decision in Abu Dhabi. There's going to be fucking riots in the street. If it's a close fight, Justin Gaethje's fucked. I think the strategy for Justin Gaethje is not kick the legs. Do not kick the legs because he can catch it. Kick the calf. Kick the calf, kick the calf, kick the calf. No one has kicked Khabib's calf. They're afraid to kick because he's to catch it. The minute he reaches low to catch a kick, he's going to get kicked in his fucking head. He's not going to do that. Do not kick above the knee, kick calf only. Take that spring away, right? He's going to have to do that. And Justin Gaethje's got devastating leg kicks. Edson Barboza.
The best, he has the best leg kicks in the UFC. He has the best.
Edson Barboza tried to kick Khabib, but he kicked him too high. The calf kick, it wasn't all that hot around the time Khabib and Edson fought. Edson just got pushed against the cage. Edson actually did really good in that fight with some of the takedown offense, but when he got down, he was dead, right? He got the shit kicked out of him. But he defended pretty well in some of those takedown exchanges. I think Gaethje's going to defend well. I just hope he doesn't get tired. In the third round, I think if Khabib does his classic take a round off type shit, I think Gaethje's going to catch him. I think he's going to bust him up. You don't win money betting against Khabib, but I'm a fucking dangerous man here, okay? And I'm going Gaethje at plus 260. Any reasonable person that isn't the MMA handicap game, they're going to take a look at that number. Yes, Khabib might be the best pound for pound in the world, but when you see plus 260 against Justin Gaethje, and his wrestling's unknown, we hear all this shit, we haven't seen it, right?
100% unknown.
So it's unknown, and you know what Khabib's going to do. We already know that. There's no surprises in his game. So I'm going Gaethje here. This was a fight that I was really back and forth all week on. I watched so many Khabib fights. I've literally watched YouTube videos of his wrestling. I've watched YouTube videos on Justin. I'm going to go Gaethje here. I'm a little confident. I'm definitely going to bet this fight as well just because of the underdog number next to it. I just closed a card on 3 underdogs there. 3 underdogs. Walt, Robert, Justin. 3 underdog closes. Finish your thought, then I'm going to need to get your locks and stuff.
It's the way that I see this fight is like the same round that he decided to do with Conor, even though Conor was gassed and got dropped and all that shit. That stand-up round that everybody claims he lost against Conor, whether he lost it or not.
He lost it. Khabib gave it to him and he lost it.
I don't think he can afford to do that with Justin Gaethje.
And that's the problem
that I have.
That's
the problem that I have.
4 and 5, they stood up.
And I really, I think Iaquinta was the opponent that he respected the least and did the least tape study on. I think Gaethje can really rely on his footwork to stay away from takedowns out in the open. But like you said, if Khabib gets his back against the cage, he's fucked. But if Khabib decides to take a round off, it's just not. I mean, against someone like Justin Gaethje, you can't take a round off. You got to keep your foot on the gas. The way you beat Justin Gaethje, I mean, the way that Eddie Alvarez did it was he put his foot on the gas and he out-toughed him. The way that Dustin Poirier did it was he put his foot on the gas and he out-toughed him. Khabib has to do the same thing, but in his own realm. He cannot take his foot off the gas because Justin Gaethje will press forward.
Another thing as well is Khabib's 28-0. And you can argue some of those fights weren't his best performances, but he's got it done. There's not, besides the Gleason-Tebow fight, there really hasn't been that many close Khabib fights, right? I've been watching MMA long enough. I've been following long enough that there's no one I have seen yet. The greatest of all times, John Jones, Chuck Liddell in his prime, Randy Couture, all these guys, right? They're not even lose, but there's a time where even in their prime, there'll be a fight where they don't look so great, right? There's a fight where they start slipping. Anderson Silva, the same way. When he was the greatest of all time, there's some fights in there. The Damian Maia, the Talis Lathis fight. He didn't look great, but he's still the greatest of all time.
Dom Reyes and John Jones. I mean,
Thiago Santos, John Jones as well.
Yeah.
Khabib hasn't had that yet. There hasn't been a fight like that yet.
This could be that.
So you're 28-0. I think Khabib could come out there a little flat, right? There's the thing where his dad's not around. Maybe he's not training all that hard. His teammates have already fought. They haven't looked all that great. They've looked a little flat as well. He didn't go to AKA. He's trained in Dagestan. He's dealing with a lot. Gaethje said, how hard is this guy getting pushed by these guys? You know, he's the best in the world. He's Khabib. All these people love him. Are they in there telling him he's the best in the world? Are they in there trying to take his head off? Khabib knows his game. He knows to get in there, wrestle, take him down. But when he can't do that and he starts getting roughed up, I really want to see how he reacts. I like Khabib. I'm a fan of Khabib. But there's going to be a time, 28-0. Floyd Mayweather's had it too. You look at Floyd Mayweather, the Marcus Maidana fight. He looked a little rusty. They had a rematch. Yeah. Luis Castillo early in his career. A lot of people think he lost that fight. The Miguel Cotto fight. The greatest of all time. Even if they're undefeated, they'll have these fights where they look human. We haven't seen Khabib look human yet. And if anyone's going to bring it out, it's this fucking wild dude, Justin Gaethje, who just doesn't give a fuck. And he's going to go in there and he's going to fucking pound your head in. So
he's so serious.
I'm so excited for this fight.
Justin Gaethje takes his training so fucking seriously. Yeah. Like he's been cash apping or Venmoing guys in his camp. I'm sure you saw the picture. One of his teammates, you know,
dropped on the body shot.
Yeah, dropped him the body shot. Also in the beginning of training camp, there is that leaked footage of Gaethje getting head kicked real bad. That's bad.
He ate it like M&M's though. All right, I'm gonna seriously. You have your underdog locked. You copied mine. No big deal. I need your send him home. I need your mortal, bud. Your absolute fucking best bet. The people watching, the people listening, who are they gonna take to the counter and bet on?
So I'm gonna go with my mortal lock of Casey Kenny.
Casey Kenny. All right.
And I don't know if I'm gonna.
I'm gonna
do Jung
Dong. Send him home.
I'm gonna do it to send him home to Sam Alvey. Let me just look over that one more time before we solidify that 100%.
That's locked in. I wrote it down. It's locked in. It's already it's permanent.
Right, yeah,
permanent.
Take
All
it.
right, that's it. That's the show. We're at hour 18 minutes. Good Lord. Subscribe to both of us. We're here with our names, and that's it, Dev. That's the show, bud. Let's go.
Later,
all
brother.
Right? See ya.
See ya. Have a good night.